should Christians use preferred pronouns for trans people? There are good people on both sides of this debate. Some of my friends will say, no, I won't use pronouns that don't match somebody's biological sex. And their big thing is, I feel like I'm lying to them. If a female wants to be called he, him, and I agree and I do that, I call this female he, him, then I feel like I'm lying to them. I don't think it's necessarily lying. The other viewpoint is what a friend of mine, Greg Coles, has called pronoun hospitality. Like, whether we agree or disagree with their pronoun use, can we meet them where they're at? Can we be hospitable even in disagreement and use their pronouns? And that's the view that I would recommend. I do think language is flexible. So, if there's person A over here, so I'll be person A over here, and I believe pronouns should match your biological sex, and that's true. I think that's right. But person B over here thinks that pronouns should match your gender identity, not your biological sex, but your internal sense of who you are, your personal identity. Now, I could disagree with all of that, but language is shared social space. So when I use language, I'm reflecting my worldview. When this person uses language, it's reflecting their worldview. Am I going to require that wherever I go, people must use the language that reflects my worldview? No, I'm not. And none of us do that all the time. So since language is shared social space, I think it's okay to say, okay, I have my worldview, and I'm not going to change that, but I can meet person B where they're at and use the pronouns that reflect their worldview, even if I totally disagree with that worldview. So I'm going to say, on a very general level, yes, I'm going to use someone's pronouns. Now, the only caveat I might give is, if you're a parent with a younger kid, early teen, maybe even pre-adolescent, that is wanting to be called by a different pronoun, in some of those cases, I think case-by-case basis here, but in some cases there it might be beneficial for a parent not to use the child's pronoun. Sometimes pronouns are a form of social transitioning, and when it comes to younger people, when someone in authority affirms their social transitioning, that can sometimes and oftentimes lead to hormonal transitioning and surgical transitioning later. And that's where I'm going to really want to put the brakes on. I don't think teenagers should transition. I don't think that's wise, whether you're a Christian or not. So as a parent, I do think you have the right to say, no, I'm not going to use your preferred pronouns, but I can't stress this enough. That has to be in the context of a hyper-loving, listening, understanding relationship. So if you don't have that with your kid, and then you also don't use their pronoun, you're probably just going to keep pushing and pushing them away. And I want to make sure I lay a thick foundation for a solid relationship with my kid.